We are on a grimy and slightly dank industrial estate on the outskirts of Cologne, but I'm still smiling because behind me in the large film and photographic studio is one of the most exciting cars of 2015. The Ford Focus RS is back. Let's go and have a look.
So this is it, the third generation of Focus RS. And with four-wheel drive, a five-door body, and sales aspirations not just in Europe, but across the globe from America to China and Australia, it is quite unlike either of the Focus RSs that have gone before it.
So we're very lucky, we've got Ernesto Rupar, who's in charge of the exterior design of the new Focus RS. And you're going to chat us through your thinking behind the exterior of the car. Now, I know you were in charge of designing the Fiesta RS WRC cars, so did you take any inspiration from that when designing this?
Obviously. I mean, the RS is, that's the only road-going RS. We had to take design cues of the WRC car. So looking at the front end, we wanted to do a very dynamic, muscular shape. Doing so, we had to do on top of the ST something. Looking at the bumper insert, the black part itself, it takes cues from the Fiesta WRC car. Overall, it's everything functional. We had to think fit to purpose. All the details are really worked fine and fine-tuned with aerodynamic guys and the cooling guys. The inspiration came from all the heritage RS models. We had to be something special and unique.
And I noticed obviously we've got the bigger intercooler near the front and everything's very much on show, isn't it? And there's a sort of a very fine grille, but you almost can't see it from a distance, only when you get up close, isn't it?
Well, we had to do that just to improve the airflow, to keep the car cool when it's top performing on a track, for instance, or on the Autobahn. So everything is optimized to improve the cooling, and therefore we had this very fine, thin mesh just to protect the intercooler and the radiator grille.
It's not a wide-bodied car, obviously like the previous generation Focus RS. That was obviously, did you think about doing a wide body?
Originally we did, however we decided we wanted to have an all-wheel drive system, and doing so we realized that it's better to invest all the engineering resources in having a unique all-wheel drive system for the RS. And we widened the track on the rear a little bit, so it's about 5 millimeters wider in the rear. It was not much about having the looks of a wide-body car, it was more about the performance of a RS. This
is obviously going to be sold all over the world, so again, having the slightly less aggressive look and being five-door as well, obviously you had no choice in terms of it being five-door, so it fits in more with the whole aesthetic of the car and perhaps has a broader appeal.
Exactly. We've been asked by various departments to tone down the car a little bit, yet having still an RS unique design. So it appeals more to the global customer. We will sell for the first time an RS globally, so we will be able to get this car in the US and Australia and China, Canada and obviously Europe.
And let's talk about the rear wing. It's obviously, again, it's not as big as the one before, but it looks very cool. And obviously, presumably, it's all developed in the wind tunnel to work with the front splitter as well.
Our plan was to have it more incorporated, yet still an RS unique spoiler, so it differs very much from the ST. It's got now body colored side panels, yet this floating bar in the rear with two supports. It is totally developed for aerodynamic purposes. So we have on the front a front splitter, which generates a lot of downforce in the front, and therefore we had to counterbalance in the rear with a spoiler.
And then obviously below that, I know around the rear we've got the rear diffuser, and that is not just for show, it does actually have some effect.
Well, the shape of it itself was really developed with the aerodynamic guys to improve the airflow on the body and to cool down the muffler when it's generating too much heat.
And right in the middle of it as well was the fog lamp, which I think we haven't seen before.
Yeah, that's something unique for this car. We don't have this kind of a fog lamp on any Focus. It's RS unique, so it's a center mounted fog lamp LED. a bit Formula One style. Yeah.
And I know you obviously weren't responsible for the interior, but there's obviously a couple of bits in there sort of worth mentioning too.
Yeah. Well, the interior differs slightly from the ST. We've got unique dials. We offer optional shell seats from Recaro with Recaro embroideries and RS logo stitched in different colors and material choices. We've got currently blue stitching as well. The steering itself is RS unique. It's got a flat bottom.
And I suppose finally we just thought to talk about the colour. We first saw it on when the Ford GT was launched out in America, and I think it's called liquid blue.
This is called liquid blue. Currently, this is a show car only color. We will offer 4 colors altogether. One is already known from the ST. It's a stealth grey. We will offer an absolute black. It's a really black car. Then we have a frozen white and a color called nitrous blue.
Excellent. Ernesto, thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.
The specifics of the RS's new four-wheel drive system are still rather sketchy. However, we do know that there is proper torque vectoring at the rear axle. One electronically controlled clutch pack will distribute torque between front and rear axles. Only 70% of the drive will ever reach the rear axle, but a second clutch pack can then push up to 100% of that to either rear wheel. Ford boasts of lateral grip exceeding 1G, but also says the RS has the ability to achieve controlled oversteer drifts on the track, which sounds fun.
Arguably an even bigger indicator of the serious intent that Ford's put into this Focus RS is not the four-wheel drive system, but actually the tyres. Now, as standard, it comes with a Michelin Pilot Supersport, a tyre that we really like, but as an option, you can have the new Cup 2 tyre, which, I'm mentioning track, obviously, in the press pack, which is, it's a fairly serious statement, so it's certainly designed to go head-to-head, potentially with things like the Megane and all that sort of thing. Elsewhere, we've got Brembo brakes in here, which are huge. It's wearing a 235/35 R19 tyre, standard 19-inch wheels. Suspension-wise, well, it's adjustable suspension, so they've got 2 modes, one which is stiffer, and again, they mention track for that. It's got stiffer suspension, it's got stiffer springs, anti-roll bars, and bushes compared to the Focus ST. It's also got a new front suspension knuckle in here and shorter link arms, all of which they're saying adds the feel from the electric power assisted steering.
Ford has been irritatingly coy about the new RS's engine, and we weren't even allowed to see it when we were in the studio. Over 320 PS and a rev limit of 6,800 RPM are the only figures that we've got. What we do know is that the engine is essentially the 2.3 litre 4-cylinder EcoBoost unit from the latest UK-bound Mustang. However, in order to withstand higher temperatures, the alloy for the cylinder head has been upgraded along with the head gasket, and the block has stronger high-tensile cast iron liners. The turbo has also been switched for a new low-inertia twin-scroll item.
So there we are, back out into the fresh air. Now, just as we were finishing up, they did actually start up the Focus RS, which is a bit of a surprise because they're not really meant to do that. But we could certainly hear a bit of the exhaust noise, some of the sort of the burble and at low revs anyway from the exhaust, so you can hear a bit of that now. I'm sure the 4-cylinder, when it's up on sort of full cry, will have even more sort of pops and bangs and crackles and sound really good. It's certainly an exciting car. Obviously there aren't that many details at the moment. What we do know is they're saying, we saw the sort of the video that was released a little while ago showing the car drifting, and they keep talking about drifting, controlled drifting at some points in the press pack. So we're hoping obviously that the performance and the handling should be suitably entertaining. Things we don't know, obviously power and torque. I mean, it's got to be more than 350 brake horsepower, you'd thought, because that's what the final RS 500 of the front-wheel drive previous generation Focus ended up with. So we're hoping for north of 350 brake horsepower. And well, you say the dynamics are there. Price, well, we're thinking possibly even below £30,000. So it really is going to be a people's Ford. And all in all, it's looking like a pretty exciting package. Remember to keep checking back on evo.co.uk because we're hoping that they're going to release more information as it actually gets to the Geneva Motor Show, and as soon as we have the information, you will have the information if you keep checking the website and all that. So yeah, that's the Focus RS, or as much as we know about it for now. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments and questions in the boxes below. Obviously the coolest thing about this Focus RS is still the door protectors. Love a door protector. And in case you're wondering why I'm wearing socks, it's so I don't get the floor dirty. That's what you were all wondering throughout the entire video. I know it was.